Hello guys, today I'm going to show you a very simple overlay for basically any game. Very simple, very easy. This is one friend I'm making. Very simple. Get rid of the block right here. This is to make sure that you can't go the player. I just do that anyways. Second of all, you need an image, which I already have. But you need an image usually to have excuse me, a background. You also have. My friend likes the background. I'm not changing my mind. Step 2. Very simple. Need mix ratio. 1080. I've been messing with this for a bit already, so I don't really need to worry about this too much. I'm gonna make this just white for reference. And I like to go with 11 pixels. Make it nice and thick. Make sure it is 1280 by 720, otherwise it may bug out when you're trying to configure it later. Okay. Finally, now that you have your 1280 by 10, 1280 by 720 thing, first of all, what you want to do is make sure that it is where you want to redesign it. Push V to go back to your movement tool, hold Shift, or hold Control. I think it's hold Shift, hold Control. Please Shift. Please none of them at all. Point is, put it in the top left corner, hold Shift, and then use your arrow keys to inch it to where you want it to go. Me, I like to do 4 down, 4 up. Like that. So I like to do, 4 down, and then 4 right. In case you didn't understand what that means, I'll do it again. 4 down, and 4 right. Boom, there you go. Get your game box. It's not just finished yet, but it's good for now. Same thing for the webcam, except the webcam does not need to be that big. The webcam can be around 600 to 300. 600 to around 340. Something like that. I'm just gonna put it like this for now. To, conserve time. Put it in the corner. Exact same thing. Do the exact same thing. I'm doing 4 on this one too. I'm gonna make the game box slightly bigger. Actually, no. I'm gonna make the webcam a lot bigger. Okay. Now that you made your game bar or whatever the fuck you want to make bigger, doesn't matter. Now that you have that, you need to have an anime girl. Well, you don't have to, but a lot of people like anime girls on their things. I chose this girl for Taylor. That's not the correct image. This is the correct image. Okay, apologies for that interruption. I was lost for like half a minute on how to flip this fucking image. So basically what I had to do was I had to click on the center dot. Make sure you have transform controls on when you're on your movement tool. In the middle, and it'll let you right click, and then it'll let you do all the configuration. I wasn't aware of that, and I just fucked myself for like 10 minutes trying to figure out how to fucking change the image. Now that that's all over though, now we can actually go back to the tutorial. Anyways, now that that's all over, we can stop making fun of Corin. Yeah, I suck at fucking using Photoshop. I know. Anyways, point is, after you have those shapes, and after you have all those layers and everything like that, you want to make sure that you have a good, blender option. Usually I use drop shadow with these settings for sure webcam and I think Gamebox. Yeah, this is what I use for both. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take them both off right now for reasons. Now what I'm going to do is there's a thing called Magic Wand, where you need to use Magic Wand. And what Magic Wand does is very simple. Very, very simple. Right here, you want to click on Magic Wand, and make sure you're on the Magic Wand. You want to click on your webcam and render it. Now what this does is it basically will detect anything inside this box. Now what you want to do is you want to click back to your game box, and make sure you have both these layers rasterized. And I think... There we go. Okay, yeah, excuse me, I forgot to... Again, another mistake. So I was on my webcam box. Now, as you can see, I was hitting delete or clear. And, yeah, you want to push the delete key on your keyboard to do things like that. But I was pushing it, and I was still on my webcam. This is why you really want to rename your things if you're really unsure with what your things are. Because I was definitely unsure. But basically, after that, now you have this big old blob. Now, unfortunately, this is now one image, if I'm correct. So now the only way you can really switch this is if you switch from the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go and render this. So I'm going to use Control and then plus, and then hold space to pen the canvas. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the excess that I don't want. So right here, I don't want this excess. This little piece right here. I can just poof, and it's gone. Same here. Cut it out. Poof, and it's gone. Make sure that you are on the layer that you want to cut things out on. Otherwise, let's say you're on this layer on accident, and you go like, whoop. Ah. Whoops. And there you go. See? There you go. Now there's your... Ah. There you go, your layout. Yeah, you want to make sure you're very careful with that. You don't want to cut out your layout on accident. So now, after you have all your things cut out, now you have a good webcam and a good game box. So, to create a chat box, it's very simple. You want to go over to this little box again. You want to go to free. You don't want, for fuck's sake, you don't want fixed ratio or fixed size. Fixed size is just going to bring it to whatever size or with height you chose, and ratio is just going to be in the same aspect ratio. Choosing free is, if not the best option. Now, you can do all the tuning later. I think a good sized chat box is like this big normally. However, since my friend really doesn't have a lot of extra space and he doesn't know what to use it for, I'm gonna make it like this. Now, yes, I'm gonna tune it. Yada. I'm gonna tune everything. No worries. I'm not gonna have my friend have a big ass fucking chat box with no idea what. I'm gonna make it look clean, and I'm gonna make it look nice. No fucking worries, Taylor. Don't come sucking me. Anyways, point is, so now that these are level, I'm pretty sure maybe 1 pixel on it. Okay, that is if not even. Okay, so now that we have that, we want to copy the exact same thing we just did. Control J, and we want to make a copy of this. Now this copy is very simple. With this copy, we want this copy to have on the block, we want this one to be a fill. This one can be black if it wants. We're gonna put it underneath. Okay? So now it's underneath the chat box. And you may be wondering, well, Court, what the fuck does this do? Go here and lower the opacity to like 35. Boom. There you go. So now you have a very good chat box that has opacity, with the lower opacity of black. That way you can read your chats better. It also looks more clean and more smooth. Next up, we should probably work on name. So my friend's name is Nicola Gaming. Please go, subscribe to him on YouTube. He makes good content, but I don't really give a fuck. We're gonna be using the font that he gave me. It's Origin Tech, yeah. So I'm gonna put his name here. _gaming. And I'm going to lower the size. just enough so it's usable. Hold Control to move it, and then double click if you want to change color or something. For this, we're just going to use white. Don't worry about it not being able to be seen. Do not worry. Do not fret your petty little heads. This is why blending options is a thing. Add a drop shadow, and follow my almost exact choices. This will help your chicks or your game be readable. You want to make sure your opacity is on at least 100, or I put it on 100 usually. Distance, I lower the distance a fuck ton to around, what, like 5? Spread, I lower a fuck ton. Size, I also lower a fuck ton, but I leave it like this. And if you want, you guys can add a stroke. I don't care. I usually don't add strokes. You can add strokes if you want. An outer glow is also really nice to have. Want to match with your theme. For this one, we're just going to make it pink. I'm pretty sure you'll be fun with that. Now that we have that, we now need the one and only final fucking touch to make it transparent. So to make it transparent, you want to go over to this tool over here, the rectangle select, and you want to select rectangle select. Now I'm using Photophia. I'll leave the link in chat. I'm not choosing Photoshop. I'm using Photophia, the free version. It's a website not owned by Adobe, I'm pretty sure, but it is a site that is basically the same thing as Photoshop. So what I do here is I use Control Plus, zoom in, and then I use face, and I go to the top left, see where you can see the first little blob. So what you want to do is now, after you're starting to grab, you want to triangle down and right. Assuming that you get in the right place, you'll see a white blob, and you'll be able to continue on. Wait till you see these two blobs, and then try and link them up together, and make a size. Make it 1280 by 720, and you should match it perfectly. That. What you want to do is, after you highlight that, hit delete, and it will probably say something about smart object is not rasterized. You need to right-click, and then click rasterize on your wallpaper. Then click it again, and then you should see these checkered spots. This means it is transparent and that it is see-through. If you put an image through this, it will be shown. Now please do the exact same thing for your webcam, and it will basically be finished. Any extra touches can be added as well, but in this video I think it is very simple to not add them. I think we are adding only the basics in this video, and we do not really need to add much more. As you can see right there, delete, and now the chat box is not going to be removed. The chat box is going to stay there. And if you want a little bit more effect, bring the image in again. Or do this before you make things transparent. So you want the image here, right? And you can make this transparent again if you want. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add, not a drop shadow, but a pattern overlay. You find it in the blending options, and this the third to last one. Now there's a lot of patterns. You got the sun pattern. You got your what this pattern is. You got a line pattern, light pattern, dark pattern. This is, and you got a few other patterns like a line, like a straight line. I'm gonna use the single lines on this one. Why? It's clean and it looks good for Taylor. Very simple. Now, in this one, you want to lower the opacity. No, you don't. You want to keep the opacity high. And you want to go to pattern overlay. You want to switch the blend mode to overlay, I think. Yeah, switch it to overlay. And it will basically not change the colors at all. But it will still have the pattern. So after you hit OK, there you go. And now all you need to do is repeat what I said last step. Go back to the top left. And then trace out your overlay once again, or you can just do it before, it doesn't matter. Do it after or before, it does not matter. Either way, this will do the exact same thing. And then you want to do it. Do this before, you rasterize the image, and then delete. Now do the exact same for your webcam. I just fucked it up. The exact same thing. Webcam right here. Bing, bada boom. Now zoom out using Control minus, yada yada yada. And there you go. you have your very own overlay. If you want to export it, you go over to File and then click on Save as PSD. It will then give you a prompt on whether to name it or just save it normally. I'm going to name this one Nicola and then save it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial video, and I'll see you guys all later in the next one.